Hi guys, I'm Steph. Thank you so much for checking out my channel today. So about 2 months ago now, I did a haul on what I picked up during the VIB Spring Sephora sale. And I picked up a lot of products, so it's taking me quite some time to kind of test everything thoroughly. That being said, I've split up the products from that haul into 3 separate videos. So yesterday's video was all about Drunk Elephant and my thoughts on that because I picked up the little set. On Friday, I did my first impression with the Fenty foundation as well as the primer. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the majority of the other products I picked up. I'm not going to be able to talk about everything because I picked up a lot of skincare, and skincare you can't test just like that. It takes a lot of time to use the products, see how they work with other products, and like I said, I was really focusing on the Drunk Elephant stuff, as in you can see in yesterday's review. So I just didn't get a chance to try all the other skincare, but let's get into what I did try and what I'm excited to tell you about. These 2 products might look familiar because they were actually in my June favorites. I love them so much. So I am talking about the Briogeo Scalp Revival. So what I have here is the shampooing micro-exfoliant. So it's a Scalp Revival charcoal and coconut oil micro-exfoliating shampoo. And this is if you have like a dry, flaky scalp basically, which I had a huge issue with. I had a really flaky scalp, and even just 10 minutes after washing my hair, my scalp would already start flaking. I would just move my hair like this out of the way and there would be flakes. And it was quite persistent. I really didn't know what to do with it. I tried some other dandruff shampoos and I decided to pick this up. Right after I picked this up, before I watched it, I saw a number of videos saying how this did not deliver, and I was like, oh no, because this is like a $50 shampoo, and I was like, what have I just bought? But I realized, I agree, this on its own does not deliver. You need to use it with this treatment. So this is the Briogeo Scalp Revival Charcoal and Tea Tree Scalp Treatment, and it's just a little dropper, and what you do is drop it on your scalp. Like I did it like by my hairline, and I parted my hair and I did like 5 on this side, 5 on this side, and you just put it directly on your part and you kind of zhuzh it into your hair, like not zhuzh, more like massage. You massage it into your scalp, and it does make your hair a little bit oily, but I find like the oiliness doesn't last. It soaks in and everything, and these 2 products together helped get rid of my like dry scalp completely. It was like incredible. Within like 5 to 6 uses, I noticed that like it was completely gone, and I noticed results within the first use. So I am really happy with how those products worked for me, and right now I do not have a flaky scalp at all, so I'm kind of holding off using them until I need them again, but I'm so happy that I found something that actually works. On to the other non-makeup-y item. This is the Cinema Secrets Makeup Brush Cleanser, and it came with a little tin. It came as a duo, and oh my gosh, I understand the hype around this product. It is so crazy good. Okay, so this is a quick drying, rinse-free formula. Basically, you pour a little bit into the tin. You just need like not a lot amount. You dip your brush in and you swirl it around. No, just dip your brush in very quick, and then you swirl it around on a cloth or a paper towel, and it cleans your brush so well, and your brush is like dry in 5 seconds. It is crazy. I just used it now with some eyeshadow brushes. I really wish I had taken like before after pictures or footage or something, because I was like so amazed. It's like every time I use it I'm so amazed. It's just like incredible. I had like this really dark red shade on there, and I just dipped it in, swirled around, and it was gone clean. Like I feel like that got my brushes cleaner than when I use like a soap and I'm at the sink and I'm like really scrubbing them out. Like it was insane. And I had like a concealer brush that had been like caked in concealer, and I felt like every time I tried to do a deep cleansing to it, there was still like staining on it. I could just never get off. And this got it off. Like this stuff is amazing. It smells great. I'm so impressed. I am so happy I picked it up, and I will 100% be buying it again in the future in like one of those giant bottles, because like I need this in my life. It is so good. I'm like, I think that might be the most impressive thing out of this. That was just like, it was like magic. I was like, wow. Though I'm pretty happy with like my dry scalp. So that was also like magic, but in a different way. This was like quick magic. That was like magic. Anyways, also an amazing product. So I think out of everything else, this is the last thing I'm not actually wearing today. This is the Yves Saint Laurent Touche Eclat Blur Primer, And I had a sample of this, so I was trying to use that up, and I had like a tiny little sample like from Sephora, and that ended up lasting me like, I don't know, 8 uses. So like if you want to try something, just get a sample, and maybe that will satiate your need and you won't feel the need to buy it, or you're going to know that it's really amazing and worth the money. So I highly suggest if you can get a sample from Sephora, like they do it for like it was just like a little container, they filled it with this. You can get it for like foundations, just like other liquid products. I highly suggest you guys go do that. Anyways, I picked this up because I already knew I really liked it. I had the little sample prior to purchasing it because it is a more expensive primer, so I wanted to make sure I liked it. And I just love the way it makes my skin look. I feel like it looks like very, like the pores filled, everything looks blurred. I like the way my skin looks with it. Now on to the products I'm wearing today. I picked up like a half size of the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer, and they say this is a primer plus moisturizer and has hyaluronic acid and niacinamide, and it's going to help kind of like with the hyaluronic acid like draw water particles to your skin, so it's very hydrating. And even though this is just the half size, it is cheaper than buying the full size cost per ounce. So that's why I was like, oh, even if I love it, I was like, I'll never pick up the full size because it's cheaper just to buy the half size. Just so you guys know. Anyways, this is a very hydrating primer like it claims to be. I felt like my foundation went onto it really nicely. The foundation I wore today sometimes can look a bit dry and streaky, and I thought that they were a very good pairing together. I think I am going to keep this more for the winter months though, because I don't feel like I really need all this hydration in the summer because I do have an oilier skin type and it's really hot out and my skin just doesn't feel dry, so I don't feel the need to reach for something like this, but I'm really happy I picked it up. This next product I was like slightly intrigued by, and I'm really glad I did pick it up. Also from Smashbox, this is the Photo Finish Hydrating Under Eye Primer. So you put this in your under eye area before you put on concealer, and it's supposed to kind of, what did they say it does? It reduces the look of puffiness and dark circles. But I honestly find that it really hydrates my under eye area. Like I use eye creams, but I find this gives it just like a bit more intense hydration to the point where my concealer goes on so smoothly. I don't notice it sinking into fine lines as much because I have quite a bit of fine lines under my skin, I feel. And even when I powder over, I feel like that almost makes it worse and looks cakey. And using this in the under eye area, you only need the tiniest amount. It is like a pink pearlescent almost, so it is also brightening. But I just love the way my concealer goes on top of it. It's like another barrier between my skin and the concealer, and so this is kind of filling in the lines so the concealer isn't sinking into them almost. And I just feel like my under eye area looks so much better when I use this product. I wanted this product like when I first heard people talking about it months ago, but it was not available in Canada, and it is the It Cosmetics VIB Breakout. It is a full coverage concealer for oily and acne prone skin. And I believe it has salicylic acid in it. Anyways, this is in the shade Fair, so it's supposed to not only cover up your blemishes, but it's also supposed to treat them, which I love the idea of that, because as someone with acne prone skin, I have like a lot of active pimples, and I really want to cover them up because like they're not pretty, but I also don't want to just be coating it in makeup. I like the idea that this was like going to cover it but also treat it, and I find this works so well. I feel like it really helped cover the pimples. It has amazing coverage, and then on top of that, it really helped treat them. Like I would take my makeup off at the end of the day and my pimples would be less visible, they would be reduced in size, or they might even be gone. That being said, it can be drying, so I would notice that sometimes I would have like those little dry crusty things on my face of where like this was drying out the pimple and the makeup around it just did not look pretty. So if you have like a very like a white head and you put this on, it's going to fix it and it's going to help dry it out, but it's going to be very obvious that it is doing so. So it works, and it can look good, but sometimes it can't. So think about like what type of acne you have if you think it would be suitable for you. But I really enjoy it. I'm so happy I picked it up. I'm really happy this product exists, and I have really been enjoying it. Another product I have been enjoying. I feel like I have overall good impressions from this haul, but there is a product or two I'm kind of like, did I need that? And this is the Precisely My Brow Pencil from Benefit in the shade 4, and this is like one of those micro pencils, so it is a very like thin product. I feel like you cannot really see what I'm talking about. It's very thin, and it has a spoolie on this end. It is like a very good stiff spoolie, which I do appreciate. And it is the only product I'm wearing in my brows today, and I really like it. I have a scar in this brow, so I really only have found that brow pencils really do the best job of covering it up, because you can basically, I'm drawing on my skin, and pomades, they just like slip right off. Powders, like gels, they have nothing to adhere to. And this is all I use in my brows today. I feel like you can't tell which eyebrow has the scar. It does a really good job. I like the color of it. I'm just like super impressed with this pencil and so happy. And I think I might even like it more than my ABH Brow Wiz. I think I'm going to do a video comparing like 4 different brow pencils to a high-end to a drugstore and do like a battle of the eyebrow pencils. So if you like that idea, make sure you subscribe so you know when that video comes out. Now on to the highlighters, because I picked up a lot of highlighters. So first, this is the NARS Albatross, and I wore it like as a brow bone highlight today. You can't really tell, I think. And this is it. It's kind of like a goldy, a very, very pale gold, which is great for people with a very fair skin tone, which is me. So I'm very happy about that. So this is it here. I'm not even sure if it's really picking up. And I don't think I love it. It was so expensive. It was $50. And I swatched one in store and I thought I loved it. And now I'm like, was it even this shade? Did I swatch something else? Like, I don't know. I didn't turn around to look at it. It said Albatross, so I assumed it was. But maybe something else had been put in its place and I switched something else, because this is not like what I remember swatching. And I'm kind of like, this is a huge pan of highlighter to finish up. And it was so expensive. I kind of regret it. This is like my first NARS product, and I've heard so much about the brand, and I didn't want it to be a regret. And I've heard other people talk about these and talk about the other shades, and I'm just like, did I pick up the wrong one? I don't know. I've thought about like returning it and getting the shade I wanted, but then I feel like that's just gonna get thrown out and it's wasteful. And I mean, it's not an ugly highlighter, it's just not what I wanted. But then I'm like, I don't know. I would say this is like the biggest disappointment of this haul. But what I am happy I picked up are these Glo Kits from ABH. So I picked up Moonchild during the sale, and then like the next week Aurora was on sale for half off. So I ended up being able to get both, which was great because I was really torn between which one to get. And just so you can see the comparison, this is Moonchild and this is Aurora. So Moonchild kind of has some cooler tone shades, like, and they're more like pastel-y almost. And then Aurora's, they kind of look a bit darker, a bit more pigmented. I'm going to do some quick swatches for you guys. Oh my gosh, no. Can you see them? Why did I felt like when I swatched them it was so good, but now I'm like, I don't know how to show this to you. What have I done? Blue Ice, Star, Purple Horse, Pink Heart, Lucky Clover, Blue Moon. So, where are they? Oh my gosh, I clearly don't know how to swatch. Anyways, I feel like these are a lot more pigmented than they look in the pan. Can you tell? Okay, clearly I don't know what I'm doing. So I was surprised by how pigmented they were. So when you put them on the cheeks, they definitely have that pigment to them. And I would say Moonchild as a whole is quite glittery. And I'm not sure I realized how much glitter was in them. And I feel like the glitter is very apparent on the cheeks. As for the pigmentation, I feel like it is there for like the first 30 minutes or so, but the pigmentation of it doesn't last throughout the day, but the glitter does. And then on top of that, I feel like only if I'm in direct sunlight can you really see the reflect of the color. So you might think, oh, these are a bit bold, they're not very wearable, or like they don't really fit my style. Well, like I said, in the direct sunlight you can really see the pigmentation, but when you're just like looking someone straight on, just like in normal lighting, like a house or like school or classroom or whatever, I feel like the pigmentation isn't as intense. So very glittery, but not super pigmented outside of natural sunlight. When you're in sunlight, it's like you have a strip of color on your face. So they're very apparent in the sunlight. So think about your makeup style before you purchase these and like where, like what environment you are normally in. So out of this palette, I would say Pink Heart really surprised me. I didn't expect it to be so pigmented. And I would say my favorite might be Star. I thought it was going to be like darkish and gray, but I actually ended up really loving it. And I think Blue Moon is just such a special, unique shade. And I have that on my eyes today. I have Blue Moon and Purple Horse on my lid from this palette. And then I have Blue Ice in the corner. And then I have some from the Aurora palette also on my eyes. So just to keep telling you about my eye look quickly, I have Spectra kind of like on the outer portion a bit. And then I have Orion on the lower lash line mixed with something else. To give you guys a quick swatch of Aurora, hopefully I know how to do this one better. Okay, so here are the shades from Aurora. You might be asking, why didn't I do that with Moonchild? I don't know, I felt like they weren't showing up. But maybe they were. Anyways, so for Aurora, on this side we have Eclipse, Luna, Spectra, Helia, Orion, and Lyra. And I think on my cheeks, Lyra is my favorite. I really like this one, and I also really like Luna. Luna is a bit starker than it looks like in the pan. It's the second one in, and Lyra's on the end, and I thought it would be too dark for me, but I actually really love how it looks on the cheeks. So I think that one might be my favorite, more like neutrally colors, but I am wearing Spectra today. And I'm not even sure if you can see the purple. Like I said, like I've been wearing this makeup for a little while now, and like Moonchild, I feel like the pigmentation kind of dies down. Like the glow is still there, and I feel like Aurora isn't quite as glittery as Moonchild, though there is still some glitter. But like I said, I don't think the pigmentation lasts, but I feel like I do still have glow on my cheeks, but it's not like bam purple. But when I first put it on, it was like bam purple. So it's interesting how the pigmentation kind of does that, but I'm really happy I picked them up, and I still feel like the pigmentation is showing up on my eyes, which is weird. I don't know, maybe it's because I like finger versus brush. I'm really happy that I did end up getting Aurora, and looking at them now still, I can't decide which one I like better. I'm really happy that I do own both of them, and it might seem like there are some overlappingness, but I really feel like there isn't. Like I just feel like Moonchild is more pastel, and Aurora almost has more like intensity to them. So this is Aurora and this is Moonchild. Both very shiny. As you can see, these ones are more pastel in my opinion, and these ones I just feel like have more intensity and reflectiveness to them versus these. So those are my thoughts on my haul from 2 months ago. Again, sorry for the long wait. If you enjoyed my awkward swatches, make sure you thumbs up this video and subscribe, because where else are you going to get swatches like that? I don't think anyone else will do it like that, because other people know how to do it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are. Bye.